Good evening, all the joinees. Hi, this is Shruti. I welcome you all to the webinar conducted by NGEN Markets. By the time others join in, let's have a look at today's webinar topic. So, the topic for today is building model portfolios using NGEN Fund Scores and portfolio analytics. In this topic, we will be seeing how you can use the NGEN Fund Score to build your own model portfolios, and we will also understand a detailed portfolio analytics on the same portfolio, and we will also see that how you can generate an actionable proposals for the same, and at the end we will be taking topic related Q&A. So now let us start with our engine markets webinar. So, this is the landing page of NGEN Markets, which is the Market section overview tab. Now, for today's webinar, we will move forward with this fund section. Now, to understand the NGEN Fund Score in detail, there are multiple ways which you can use onto the platform. So, here to understand the NGEN Fund Score, first, you need to open the any fund in its single analytic page. And in order to open any fund in single analytic page, you can use multiple ways. First, you can also just search for the name of the fund in the screener tab. And for now, I will be using this search funds option. And here I will be taking an example of Nippon India Large Cap Fund. I will here just search for the fund name and I will just click on it. So here when you click on any fund name, it will open up in its single analytic page. Now here just beside the fund name, you can see the NGEN Fund Score showing in the black tile, which is for Nippon India Large Cap Fund. It is 8.88 out of 10. When you click on that black tile, it will also show you its detailed explanation. So here for the analysis of this NGEN Fund Score, we take two quantitative parameters in consideration. So first quantitative parameter is AUM, which we give 10% weightage in our calculation. And here the remaining 90% is divided between this short, medium, and long term returns and volatility 30% equally. So here please note that short meaning 1 year, medium meaning 3 year, and long meaning 5 year analysis of each of the fund which we consider. So here that 30% will further gets divided between this short term returns and short term volatility. So here short term returns will get 15% and short term volatility will get 15%, and so on. And this engine fund score gets calculated from the range of 0 to 10. So here if the score is closer to 10, which means that the fund has performed well in the past 5 years time period. And if the fund score is closer to 0, which means that the fund has performed not performed that well in the past 5 years time period. And now on the right side of the screen you can also see the peers comparison in intra category. So here in the first column you are able to see the large cap funds in the you are able to see the number of funds in the same category, and in the second column you are able to see the fund scores. And here for now the Nippon India large cap fund, you are also able to see its historical fund scores, which you are also able to download in the Excel file. Now after getting a detailed understanding on this engine fund score, we will come on to the fund section. And here, please note that this engine fund score gets updated on a month on month basis. Now, for example, I wish to create a portfolio out of some equity and some of hybrid fund categories. So, here to select the number of categories, I will just click on this filter categories bucket, and this window will open up. So here you are able to see all the asset classes like equity, debt, hybrid, and others. So for now, I will take flexi cap fund as in category, small cap fund, large cap fund, focused fund. And now here also wish to add some debt element in my portfolio. So from hybrid as an category, I will just take this conservative hybrid funds, and I will just close this window. Now further, I want all those number of funds whose minimum AUM is 5000 CR and whose minimum age is 5 years in the market. So here to apply these two parameters, in the minimum AUM as an box I will type 5000, and in minimum age as an box I will type 5. And here by default the number of schemes which you are able to see in the screener tab is show top 50 results only. So now because we have taken multiple categories, the list of funds must be more than 50. So here I will also change this toggle from show top 50 to show top 200 schemes. And after applying these three parameters, I will just click on this apply icon. Now you can see when we have applied these three parameters, we have found 55 such results onto our screen. Now here we will select one fund from each of the category. So now from FlexiCap fund as an category, we can see that the HD Parak Parik FlexiCap fund is on the top. So I will just now click on the compare wheel icon beside the fund name. Now, the second in the large and mid cap fund as in category, we can see that ICICI Pru large and mid cap fund is on the top. So again, I will just click on the compare wheel icon beside the fund name. So like this, we will just select one fund from all of the categories respectively. So here for small cap, I will just take this Bandhan small cap, and further for focused fund as in category, I will take HDFC focused fund. And from conservative as in category, I will just take this SBI conservative fund. So here, when you click on the compare wheel icon beside the fund name, the number of funds will get moved to the compare section main list tab, so that here we can create a portfolio out of these schemes easily. So here, before create a portfolio of this number of schemes, here I wish to check the overlap or the common underlyings between this number of schemes. So to check the overlap, you just need to click on this position overlap tab. So here, if you hover your cursor on any of cell, you can see now two mutual funds are highlighting. So now on the top, SBI Conservative Hybrid Fund has highlighted, and on the left, ICICI Pru Large and Mid Cap Fund has highlighted. So here, if you click on that particular cell, this overlap window will open up. Now here, in case of this Reliance Industries as a stock, this ICICI Pru large and mid cap fund has the holding of 1.57 percentage, and this SBI conservative hybrid fund has the holding of 1.30 percentage. And here please note that the lower percent of holding between these two components will be the overlap for that particular stock. And here, if you do the addition of this overlap column, it will be equal to 5 percentage, which percentage you can also see in this particular cell. Now, here to understand this overlappings easily, we have also given some color gradings. So here you can see that if the overlap is between 0 to 20%, it is showing in the light green color here. Now, if the overlap is between 20 to 40%, it is showing in the darker green color. And here, if the overlap is increasing above 40, it will show, you can see that the color here is getting darker. Now here we can see that the highest overlap between these all schemes is 34 percentage. So here we can see that the highest overlap is below 40. Now here I wish to create a portfolio of these schemes. So here, in order to create a portfolio from the compare section, on the top left corner you just need to click on this convert to portfolio icon. When you click on that icon, this portfolio will get saved in this portfolio section. And here, please note that because we have created the portfolio from the compare section, it will come up with a by default title. So here now the title has come up as from compare 33. Now you just need to click on this OK icon below, and now we will move forward with this portfolio section. Now here, because the portfolio has been created from the compares tab, here it will show under this compares bar. When you click on this bar, you can see that this is the portfolio which I have just saved. Now here, in order to run the portfolio, or if you wish to edit something in their portfolio, or if you wish to rename the same portfolio, you can just click on the drop down beside the settings wheel icon. So now here I will just click on this rename icon, and here I will just change the name from my model Shruti, and I will just click on the enter. Now, here we will also see a detailed analysis on the same portfolio. So now here I will again click on the drop down, and I will just click on this run icon. Now here please note that because we have created this portfolio from the compare section, it will be automatically an equally allocated portfolio. And here if you wish to edit in the same, you can just click on the top left corner, edit or save as icon. Now, moving forward, in the first asset allocation overview tab, you can see all the exposures of your portfolio. So here we can see that equity has the exposure of 72.14 percentage. So here if you click on that equity bar, now on the right side of the screen you are able to see all the equity exposures only. And now here in case of HDFC Bank as an stock, particular stock has the indirect exposure of 4% in my portfolio. So here if you click on the eye icon beside that percentage, now here you are able to check that these three components which are there in my portfolio who are giving this indirect exposure. Now here how you can interpret this table is, in the first your portfolios column, these are the percentage allocations which I have given to these particular components in my portfolio. Now, in the second funds column, this is the percentage allocation or holding percentage of HDFC Bank in this each scheme's individual portfolio. And now, how we have arrived at this equity exposure is, here you just need to do the multiplication of this allocation percentage with the fund holding percentage. Now, here if you do the multiplication of 20% into 8.63 percentage, it will be equal to 1.73 percentage. And here if you do the addition of this exposures column, it will be equal to 4 percentage. Now moving forward with the AMC exposure tab, here you are able to check that from which asset management company how much exposure is coming. So here now we can see that we have created an equally allocated portfolio. So here we can see all the allocations as 20%. So here now if you click on any of the AMC's bar, so now I will just click on this SBI mutual funds bar. You are able to check that from this SBI conservative hybrid fund, this 20% exposure is coming. Now, moving forward with the equity sectors tab, here you are able to check the top 10 equity sectors of your portfolio. So, here now, as we can see that the banks as a sector has the highest exposure of 15.89 percentage. So here if you click on that banks bar, you are able to see only the banking stocks who indirectly hold to your portfolio. Okay, now moving forward with the performance tab. In the performance tab, here you can basically compare your portfolio with the benchmark. However, on our platform, we have an automated benchmarking system where, on the basis of equity allocation of your portfolio, the reference index gets generated. So now you can see that the platform has generated reference index 3. So here now, if you wish to check that from which many indices we have created this particular benchmark onto the platform. So to check that, on the top right corner, here we have given this benchmark section. So here below this engine search box, if you click on this search box, you are able to see that this reference index 3 has made up of 80% Nifty TRI and 20% Nifty 10-year GSEC index. Here in this section, you can also add NSE and BSE indices for the comparison purpose. Now here if you wish to create any of your own custom benchmark, you can also do that. So to create a custom benchmark, you just need to click on this custom icon and here click on manage custom indices. Now here, in order to add the components in your list, just click on the drop down and here just click on the specific index which you want to add it in the list. So for now, I will take BSc 100 and I will click on add index. Now again, I want to add BSc 500 in my list. So in order to do that, again you need to click on the drop down and here click on BSc 500 and again click on this add index icon. Now here, after adding all the components one by one in your list, here you just need to give the 100% allocation to this custom benchmark. So here I will just allocate this index between 50% and 50% equally. Here, now after giving the allocations, you just need to give the title to the custom benchmark and click on this save custom index icon. And here, in order to add this custom benchmark into the performance tab, you just need to click on this save search your custom indices bar. Now here you can also set the time period for this analysis, and in order to set the time period you just need to click on this start and end dates icons. So here now I will just take past 5-year analysis, and here I wish to add nifty 50 benchmark for the comparison. So from the NAC search box I will just add nifty 50 index. Now here onto this particular graph, we are able to see that the portfolio line which is showing in the blue color is outperforming this benchmark which is showing in the black line. And here in the performance statistics tab, you can see the MTD, YTD, 1 year, 3 year and 5 year returns for your portfolio in comparison to the benchmark. Moving forward, you can see the cumulative returns, CAGR returns, annual volatility, Sharpe ratio, and Sortino ratios also. So here we are able to check that our portfolio has taken the risk of 10.52 percentage to generate the cumulative returns of 129.21 percentage. And as compared to your portfolio, this Nifty 50 benchmark has taken the risk of 13.63 percentage to generate the lower cumulative returns of 65.53 percentage. So from this particular data set, we are able to analyze that our portfolio has performed well in the past 5 years time period as compared to the respective benchmark. Now, moving forward, with this Sharpe and Sortino ratios here. So as you know that higher the Sharpe and Sortino ratio, the better it is. And here we are able to see that our portfolio has generated higher Sharpe ratio of 0.97 and higher Sortino ratio of 1.16. Then you can also check the historical and implied VAR. So here this VAR basically stands for value at risk. And here this value at risk basically tells you the potential loss of your portfolio. So here how you can interpret the data is for the historical VAR, in you can say that with the 95% of confidence there are 5% chances. Now here how we have arrived at that 5% is 100 minus the number which is there in this particular box. So now there are 5% chances that the if the history repeat itself, your portfolio will get the negative returns of minus 17.17 percentage, and in comparison to that the benchmark will get the negative returns of minus 21.49 percentage. And here the reading for this implied VAR is also the same. Here just the difference between these two parameters is for the analysis of historical VAR we take historical returns in consideration, and for the analysis of this implied VAR we take historical volatility in consideration. Moving forward, here we are also able to check that our portfolio has generated excess returns over and above the benchmark of 63.68 percentage. Then you can see the up capture and down capture ratios. So here the up capture ratio calculates the performance of your portfolio in the bull market. So here please note that for the benchmark the up capture and down capture ratio is always 100. So here you can say that if the benchmark goes up by 100 times, the portfolio has gone up by 103.69 times. So here higher the up capture ratio, the better it is. And in opposite to that, the down capture ratio calculates the performance of your portfolio in the bear market. So here you can say that if the benchmark goes down by 100 times, our portfolio has gone down only 64.33 times. Moving forward, you are also able to check the monthly charts, yearly charts, monthly statistics, and yearly statistics as well. So here in the monthly statistics section, we can see that there were 61 number of months from which in the 42 months the portfolio has gone up, and only in 19 months the portfolio has gone down. Now moving forward with the portfolio SIP tab. Here if you wish to do a portfolio level SIP analysis onto the platform. So you can use this portfolio SIPs tab. Here in this installment section, you just need to put your desired SIP installment amount, and you need to set the start and end dates for the analysis, and click on this run SIPs icon. So here you are able to check that how much XIRR has been generated, how much final value has been generated, and how much value you have invested. And you can also see the monthly breakdown for your investment. Now here after doing the SIP portfolio level SIP analysis, if you wish to check the lump sum analysis for the same capital amount, you can just take the amount, and in the performance tab in this value of section, you just need to put the amount. So here now you are able to check that if you would have invested this 10 lakh in this particular time period on lump sum basis, what would be the current value of your portfolio. Now, moving forward with this drawdowns tab, here you are able to check that how faster your portfolio is recovering from its losses. So here you can see worst top 10 drawdowns of your portfolio. And here now we can see that the highest loss of the portfolio was minus 13.82 percentage. So here we can see that the portfolio NAV has started falling out at 132.26 on the date of 17th Jan 2022, and it has ended at 113.99 on the date of 20th June 2022. So here we can see that this particular drawdown has taken 110 days, and when it has ended on 20th June 2022, the portfolio has taken 58 days to recover this minus 13.82% of loss. And on the date of 8 September 2022, the portfolio has recovered all the loss. Now, here you can also see these drawdowns by hovering on this graph. However, this white region shows you increase in the NAV movements, and this gray region shows you decrease in the NAV movements. Now, here, after analyzing the data in all of these tabs, if you wish to generate the reports for the same portfolio, there are multiple ways which you can use. So, here you can generate the PPT report for the same, PDF report for the same, and for today's topic, I will be highlighting this share link and client link options. So, now here, if you wish to send a desktop friendly link for this particular portfolio with your client, you can just click on this share link icon, and here you can just click on this create button below. So here you can see this link will get generated, which you can share across your client through WhatsApp or email as well. So here if your client just copies the link and paste in their Chrome, so here they are also able to see the data and same number of tabs for the same portfolio. And now here if you wish to hide any elements, like if you wish to hide this engine fund score, or if you wish to log the start and end dates, or if you wish to freeze the benchmark in this section, so you can again come on to the main platform. Again, you just need to click on this share link icon, and here we have given these options. So here we will just need to click on these check boxes. So first is for hiding engine fund score, then you lock start and end dates in the share link, and the last is for forcing the benchmark. So now here I will be selecting BSC 500. And here, please note that this URL link is valid up to 7 number of days. And now, if you click on this create icon, and if you send this particular link to your client, and if the client just copies the link and paste in their Chrome, now here you are able to see that this engine fund score column has been removed, then the start and end dates has been locked, and in the performance tab the benchmark has also been forced. Now after this share link, if you wish to share any mobile friendly link to your client for the same portfolio, you can just click on this client link icon. So here you just need to generate a 4-digit random pin and click on the create client link icon below, and this link will get generated. So here please note that in recent time we have also integrated with WhatsApp. So here if you wish to send the link through Engine's WhatsApp only, you can just click on this WhatsApp like icon, and here you just need to put your client's 10 digit Indian WhatsApp number and click on this send icon below. Or else if you wish to send the link through your WhatsApp, you can just copy this draft and send it accordingly. Now, here, when your client just click on the link, on the right side of the screen, you are also able to see the preview for the client link. So, here, your client just need to put the 4-digit pin, and the dashboard will look like this. So you are here, you are able to see the portfolios tab, the analytics, markets tab, and the connect. So here with this we have covered our today's webinar topic, and now the forum is open for Q&A. So here you can just unmute yourself and ask your questions, or else you can also type down your questions in the chat box.
All right, so there is a question in the chat box. How do we analyze fund score? So I'll again explain. If Shruti, you can open a fund for analysis. Yeah. So this is a score that we give to every fund that is there on the platform. The score will range from 0 to 10. And if you click on the black tile, you can get the explanation for the same. So as I mentioned, the score is from 0 to 10. When we consider, or rather what we consider for the scoring is 10% weightage we give to the AUM of the fund. and the remaining 90% is equally distributed between short, medium, and long term returns and volatility. That is 1 year for short, medium is 3, and long is 5-year returns and volatility. And few more parameters are that this fund score is comparable intra category, that is within category comparison, and as well it changes on a month on month basis. Okay. There is another question: how do you share it online on WhatsApp? So I'm assuming you are referring to a portfolio report that could be shared through WhatsApp. So you open any of the portfolio in that case, and there will be an option called as client link. The moment you click on client link, this dialog box opens up wherein either you click on generate random pin. If not, you can input your 4-digit pin. So now for this portfolio, the pin is 1009. Once that has been created, and if you scroll down, you will get an option to create or rather generate client link. The moment you click onto it, a new dialog box would open up. uh, Shruti, in that case, you can click on share link from the tab that is right on top, which is next to the knowledge tab. Yeah. So this page will come up onto your end, and you simply click on this WhatsApp icon that you see and simply input the mobile number of the respective client. Once that has been input, the message will be shared across to your client. Okay. There is another question in the chat box. In portfolios, how can we see the amount we allocate to the fund instead of allocation of percentages? So, if you want to view the amount basis allocation for a fund in the portfolio, rather than making use of the portfolios section, you can make use of the clients section. So, in the client section, we have a dedicated tab called as manual data, wherein once you click onto it, you can create a portfolio which can rather be an amount based portfolio as well. So if we quickly try to show the option, just simply click on add manually, and you input a name. And once you click on add client, the system gives you an option to select stock or select fund. If let's say I input a fund, maybe iPro large cap for example, you add that fund, and here you get the option to either input the units or current value. You input either of the two, and once you click on done, you get to see an amount basis analysis of this portfolio right here. So it's saying the value is 5000, and then the moment you click on run analytics, it will take you to a detailed portfolio analysis. Any more questions, please let us know. So there's another question. Can we add more funds of clients to analyze his existing portfolio? So let's say if you have done an RTA integration for your ARN registered client, editing the clients in the RTA connection facility will not be possible. You will be required to move that portfolio to either the portfolio section or the manual data in the client section. Since we receive these data from the RTA feeds, editing right here won't be possible. You can copy them and move it to the manual data or the portfolio section and then further edit the portfolio. So portfolio editing is possible, yes, but not in the RTA connection specifically. There's another question. So, any fund that is less than 5 years won't show under the score, or it won't come under recommendation. So, what we have done for the fund score is, let's say, within a category of, maybe I'm talking about flexi cap, if there is a young fund which has, let's say, completed only 3 years in the market. So, for the 5 year parameter, as our parameters that we consider are short, medium, and long, for the long, since this fund does not have any data, we will be giving it a neutral score of 5. So, we are saying that neither has it performed well nor it has performed very bad. We are giving a neutral score of 5 for the time period it was not into existence. And then we give it a score. So there's another question. In compare section, the performance is shown as of month end or latest date. Is there any flexibility of seeing the performance other than the month end? So right there in the compare section, main list, we provide anytime the latest end date for viewing the performance comparison. However, you can make use of the point to point tab if you wish to also change the end date, wherein not just the start but also the end date could be changed, and you can view the resultant not just in amount but also in percentage format too, be it CAGR or absolute. There's another question, like the workings you have shown for SIP, can we do calculations for SWP? So specifically, yes, we have a dedicated tab for monthly SWP on top right. There is a tab for monthly SWP. If you click onto it, this is a single fund SWP analysis. You can search for a fund, input the corpus amount and the withdrawal amount along with the dates. And for each installment or each withdrawal, what was the NAV and the respective data gets highlighted. So the SWP page, Shruti, if you could go back to the main page once. SWP option is available on top right, just below the logout option. You have the SWP section, and currently for SWP, we give you the option to analyze it for a single fund that way. We have, of course, received feedback. If we can include it right in the compare section, we might think of bringing that as well. We can work on that feedback. Any more questions? Please let us know. All right, Shruti, if there are no further questions, we can close for today.
Okay. So, thank you for joining and happy weekends.